What's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all tuning into the channel. Back here again with our barn find GTO. Got some pretty exciting news. Well, I guess an announcement would be a better way to put that. But first order of business, normally I would say, appreciate y'all tuning in, Johnson Welding Fab. I'm going to change the name of the channel. We aren't monetized yet. I do plan to, keep pursuing the YouTube thing just because I enjoy it. I mean, this is what we do, whether we YouTube it or not. So, it's just a lot of fun. I love old hot rods. But we're going to change the name of the channel. We're going to go to 323 Fabrication. That's from a verse out of the Bible. It's in Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. But it says, work willingly at all you do as though you work for the Lord, not for man. And that means a lot to me. It comes from my past working in a shipyard and working on the road welding pipe and traveling and all, and just, having to really work hard to make a living. And anyway, that was what I was going to name the business when we opened it full time, which I still hope to do one day. And I figured it'd be easier just to go on and name the YouTube channel the same, make it easier, just make one logo. Got to get that done, and then make stickers, maybe hats or shirts one day. But anyway, that order of business is out of the way, so it's going to be 323 Fabrication, short and sweet. And I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. I mean, we've got like 722 last time I checked subscribers, and that's pretty amazing. So I appreciate all y'all subscribing to the channel, everybody that comments and likes the videos. So big announcement. I've been registered for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm not really sure what day I registered, but I think I had 500 and something subs then. We got 700 and something now, which is pretty great. Been trying to get the content caught up. So, guys, we are going to the No Names Nationals. That is the plan. It is in Sikeston, Missouri at Jeffers Motorsports Park. If you haven't heard of it, punch it in on Google. If y'all watch these videos and you're in the area or just want to go to a cool race or watch any other, YouTube channels that are going, I mean, it's going to be a good time. Pole Barn Garage is going. Two Hacks Garage is going. They both have GTOs. Two Hacks has a 68. Dalton with the Holy Goat has got a 70 model, and this is a 69. So the plan is to take this car. Now we got 68 days. Dad's going to come over this morning. It's Saturday, and we're going to try to get some brakes on this car. He's going to give me a hand, and then we'll be able to put it on the ground, see if we got a transmission. If not, probably going to have to tow this thing to the shop where we can actually work on it, because I don't have a lot of tools here at the house. But 68 days. So not only am I going to take this GTO to the No Names Nationals, I'm going to drive it there. We pulled it out of the barn, I guess, about a month and a half ago. And we're going to take it drag racing and make an 8-hour one-way trip to the track, race it, and then drive it home. So, y'all want to see some ridiculousness, just hacking stuff together, trying to get somewhere, y'all stay tuned in. Alright, y'all, here we are. No, I ain't running that air cleaner. It's just to keep the bugs out. But I'm going to pull this sending unit out of this head down here. Hopefully this is the right size. And then this size threads into that one. We got a old Stuart Warner water temp gauge. It's crusty, kind of like the car. I don't know where these came from. I don't know if this is some old stuff my dad had or if we picked it up somewhere. But we're gonna get a temp gauge stuck in the car. I got another one if this one don't fit. I'm gonna swap to the Stuart Warner for this one. I'll go grab it. I tried that old tack, y'all. Unfortunately, it don't work. This Summit tack does work. Dad got this at a swap meet we were at. Dude, just give it to him, and it does work. Had to replace the button because it was hanging. I got that tack wired up just temporary. I replaced the flex fan. I didn't want to bore y'all with that. That other one was broke. Used the same bolt, same spacer, just different fan. This came off that small block I bought for the Chevy 2 that I'm not going to use now. We're going to fix the other motor. But go over here to my junk pile. So there's the tack. That one didn't work, unfortunately. I was really hoping it would. Probably swap this out here in a little bit. There's a Stewart Warner oil pressure. I'll go ahead and do that before we fire it back up. There's an ammeter. May or may not hook that up. I know it's charging. And then if that temp gauge don't work, I know this one does. This one came out of my Camaro I had in high school. So we'll see. But just figured y'all want to see a little bit of update. This thing is really loud, and it's Sunday, and on Sundays we normally just kind of hang out and do stuff around the house, and Hannah's in there taking her a nap, so I'm gonna fire it up here in a little bit after I get all this stuff swapped out. If y'all want to tune in with us here. Oh, let me show y'all this. So got the mechanical pump hooked up, and it works, but it doesn't work well, so I'm running this with it as well, kind of like a lift pump, and it's still leaking. I need to replace it. I don't know if I think it's called an eccentric that's on the the timing gear on the camshaft. I don't know if maybe it's worn or this pump just ain't no good, but I tried it, and y'all will see that here in a little bit. It works, but not great. But I ran the car up to temp earlier enough that it puked all over the floor. So I'm gonna get a temp gauge on it, and then Hannah was nice enough to let me have one of her mason jars. I'm gonna poke a hole in that, run me a hose to it, stick it down in here somewhere with some zip ties or something. Anyway, get us an overflow for the old 400. But I tell y'all, this motor really does seem like it's gonna run pretty good. It's not really smoking much anymore. But, you know, I'd love for that transmission to do right, and we'd be able to drive it the way it is, not have to pull the trans out of it. But we'll see, I reckon. Now, normally for something like this, for my catch can, I'm real good at using Mountain Dew bottles, plastic bottles. So I did on the S10 for a few months. But Hannah was nice enough to let me borrow one of her Ball big mason jars. So I poked a hole in the middle of it. Thought I was gonna center punch it, but you know, these lids are thin, and this is the biggest drill bit we got. Thankfully, Hannah's got some tools here. You know, most of mine are at the shop, but it's close to the same size as the hose, so I think we can make it work. That is raggedy. See if it's gonna fit. Is it gonna fit? It might. Alright. I'm gonna trim this up, probably with a razor knife. And then I'm thinking we're gonna zip tie that bad boy down there in that fender. I don't know. Alright. Maybe y'all probably couldn't really see what I was pointing at. Get you a better view of it. By the way, this was plugged. This nipple here was full with a dirt dauber, and I took a drill bit as close to the ID as I had and run it in there, and it pulled most of the dirt outwards, and then the rest of it kind of laid on this lip. We cleaned most of it out, but it won't hurt nothing. But there we go. Solid 3 bigger zip ties. I know, zip ties, right? But hey, I cut the tails off mine, so it'll work. Unfortunately, the oil pressure, the Stewart Warner gauge won't work. The fitting on the back of it is larger than this one. So I'll address that later, because I am gonna run them Stewart Warners in the car because they're cool and they're old school. Got a water temp gauge. That's all hooked up down in there. And then I'm gonna work on some wiring now, I think. But y'all check this out. I've had this forever. I bought it to use it, I think, on the car I had in high school. And I tell you what, let's see if we can set you guys up here so y'all can see. what we're working with. Let's see. Put you down there. Alright. This is a long acre, I guess, racing products. Anyway, just a cool switch pan. I've had this thing forever. But it's neat. You got your ignition, push to start, and then I think I've got an electric fan I can put on this car. Get rid of that flex fan, but I gotta look. I know I'm gonna run an F-body radiator. I think I think it'll fit too. I haven't checked that yet. But if I do, then I'm gonna do fuel pump, water pump. Obviously ignition's there. But I'll tie this in. Ain't much to it. But anyway, I don't know where we'll put that. We'll put it somewhere. Oh, I gotta show y'all some other stuff y'all haven't seen. Okay. Alright. Now, I'm obviously not sponsored by anyone, but I would endorse this product. Y'all see this dash? I only spent about 30 minutes between the dash and the console. Obviously, I got more to do. But that stuff right there, it works. I mean, this thing looked terrible. And they still look terrible, but they look better than they did. And I mean, if y'all saw where we pulled this stuff out of the barn, Hannah did one wipe down with soap and water and one wipe down with this. And if we put, I don't know, 3 or 4 coats on there, them joggers be shining right there. But, you know, I tell you what, I'll do it in another episode. Y'all be able to check it out. Because look, that's how it all looked to start with. Nasty. Alright, y'all, we back with you. Got the fan off, a little less noise. Pause the YouTube's got a little PVG on there, a little pole barn garage. I like having a TV in the shop. It's pretty sweet to be able to tinker and watch something at the same time, have a little background noise. Alright, so there's our overflow catch can. Good old zip tie mason jar. Alright, so y'all seen the flex fan we swapped. Got a little sweet tea. Okay, been doing some wiring. So y'all check out my dash here. That's almost too nice, ain't it? So, wired it up so the tackle still work. I don't know if this works. I hope it does. If not, I got another one. But I don't think I got the right threaded end for it. So this is a little ghetto. Got a test light ground hooked up right here because I need a ground. This thing grounds through the panel. It's like legit carbon fiber. But I got my ignition wired up on this, so hopefully now when I turn this off, the car will shut off. Start button still works. This is my electric fuel pump. This is nothing. And I'm stealing power off of it, right here off the end, to feed the tack. And then I gotta, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's hooked up. I think it's gonna work. I gotta get the gas can hooked up. And see if we can bust this thing off. Set y'all up back here. Probably gonna have to, I'm gonna pull the tank out of the car. I'm not going to yet. That's not top priority. The gas tank is not top priority. Because I'll just bungee strap this thing up in the car somewhere. As long as it works, as long as it feeds. That's all I'm really worried about. But assuming all this works, so check it out. I'm gonna brakes are next. I'm gonna pull this master cylinder booster off. I got a new one. Both Kip give me with the cars. They're chrome, nice and shiny. They'll be real out of place with the rest of this, but shoot, it don't matter as long as they work. So anyway, let's see what we got. Alright, so there's my power cable. Now, tack light's on, so I know I got power up here. So let's run the pump. Let it See if it'll push through the mechanical pump, give us a little gas to actually crank the car. Alright, it's pushing through the pump. We're getting a little bit up there in the filter. Let it get a little bit where we can crank this thing. Alright, bowl's got fuel. Here we go. temp. So it's just gonna idle for now, but I want to see how hot it gets. Kind of check over everything. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll get back with you in just a minute. All right, y'all. So heater core leaks. But the wiring works. Got up to right at 200 degrees. Oh, it's 220 now. Obviously it's gonna get hotter as it sets. Let's see here. Let it move a little water. It's leaking. So I'm gonna throw that radiator in the truck tomorrow. Bring it home. Go ahead and see if we can swap it out. Ooh, look at that ditch water. That's ditch water right there. Old rusty motor been sitting a long time. So the transmission, if you put it in drive and come back here and spin this brake drum, it spins forward. And I can't work the throttle and see if it picks up speed, but the other side, I don't want to turn it all. It's supposed to be a positive traction car, so either the rear end's burnt or I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's guess it's messed up. But the 68's got a positive track in it as well, and I know they both turn the same direction. So it might have a lunchbox locker or something in it. Who knows? But I'm gonna let this thing cool off. I'm finna go inside and eat supper. But we going to the No Names Nationals. Now, I mean, it'd be great if this Turbo 400 wasn't like soup, you know, but I guess we're gonna find out. Appreciate y'all tuning into the channel. Everybody have a good one. We'll see you at the No Names Nationals, September 30th, October 1st. Y'all be good.